Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? Check it out. Check it out. It's Tuesday. You know what that means? I guess it means that I'm streaming. That's probably pretty obvious now that I say it out loud. We're starting on Ace Attorney Investigations, Edgeworth. So I get to do all the voices again. Ha. Ha ha. Gonna be fun. I'm also pretty excited. I know I don't sound like it, but that's just my voice. I know it sounds like I'm always being super sarcastic. It's only true some of the time. All right, let's get these headphones on. There we go. These are weird. These are weird. They block out way more sound than the old ones. I don't know if I'm comfortable with it. Freaks me out a bit. Talking about me. I've been looking for this. Oh no, I don't. I know it. You can talk about you. I can talk about me. It's all good. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Let's get this going. I like this. I like the banner art. I don't know most of these characters. There's one of them that I would like to get to know. And it's this tiny Shiba Inu that Gumshoe's holding. Right? Definitely. Fuck yeah. Hey, Bad Road. Also, hi, Willow. I guess I didn't say that yet. I do bear the curse of resting sarcastic voice. You do. You do. We sound alike in that way. All right, let's do it. If the game gets choppy, I'll shut the browser window. But right now I have it open just because it's how I'm used to doing this. Because the Switch game, obviously, it didn't affect at all. Because, you know, different machine. But this one's on PC because I got all the Ace Attorney games in a bundle for like $6. And that was on PC. So that's the whole reason we're playing it here on Steam. All right, let's do this. Let's fucking go. Why is it in a window? Why did it default to a tiny window? Okay. I got a mosquito bite on my leg and it's leaking lymph. I'm not okay with that. That's weird and I don't like it. Also, the controller. Oh, I see. Apparently no one's played since... That doesn't make sense. JJ was playing Silent Hill literally yesterday. Ah, well. It's fine. Controller works. Hey, Mox. Today was a lot, so I can see myself blinking and waking up at 3:48 a.m. I feel ya. And then you went right from your job into streaming, so... There's gotta be a lot of work. Come on, just let me get to the point where I can make this full screen. Oh my god. Okay, I dig the music already. Yeah, I also want it. Yes, it's fine. VSync on, just to keep the frame rate stable. Cursor lock, doesn't matter, I'm using a controller. Oh right, I forgot, this has some like manually moving around shit, huh? and put it on hold. If my fingers get tired, we'll change that. Oh, we can do the, these look like they're vector remakes, or we can go down to the original DS graphics. They're probably raster, but they look like vector the way they've got them here, which is kind of fun. And then there's also the option to switch to original. We're gonna go with arranged. Oops, gameplay. Screen shake and flashes will keep on for right now. If they bother anyone, let me know and I will immediately disable them. We'll go with low. Hopefully that won't bother my dyslexia too much. I have both Edgeworth games. It has, I think, one of the Edgeworth games, and then also the one that's like the time travel wibbly wobbly shit. Because I think the second Edgeworth game still doesn't have an official translation. I'm not turning on autoplay in story mode in a game without voice acting. That's wild. Alright, so we've got... Oh! Miles Edgeworth and Prosecutor's Gambit. It doesn't have Prosecutor's Path, right? That's the other one. I don't know how this works. I never claimed to be an expert, I'll say that. Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. Let's go. Everything old is new. I got an achievement. March 14, 1:16 a.m. To make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. What the fuck is happening? Who's this cheeseball? I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Which is why I wear Olympic gold around my neck. March 14, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. So this is like less than an hour later. That's fun. I also know that office. And that ridiculous cravat. Oh my god. He looks just a little bit stocky. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. Huh? The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? Ah, what's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood. I hope this is not Gumshoe's blood. Look, it's a Capcom game. You have to. What the? What's the meaning of this? Oh, how are the chips? We actually ordered a bag of those, and there was mold in the bag, so we didn't try them, obviously. How are they? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Phenomenal. Oh, hell yeah. Identify yourself. Shut up. Huh. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. An Olympic prosecutor, yeah. Kurt Angle, ace prosecutor. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. March 14, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, Room 1202. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ah! Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Nobody. Whoa, it sounds like you're really burned up over this whole thing. All hail the time being. This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. Yeah, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. But this is California. Leeds is all the way across the country and then the ocean. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we're to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene, my office. Is it really coincidence that the murder took place in my office? Huh. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Angie, this is some weird energy to start off with, right? Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. Yeah, most office doors do. Updated my journal. Oh no, you're right. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? What the heck is logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. Wait. Is this game explaining to its teenage and young adult audience what logic is? Is that not something they teach in grade school here? Because, like, that's literally in Canada, that's literally something they start teaching you in the first grade. I think it's wild that a video game aimed at teenagers and adults is literally explaining what logic is. And mind you, this isn't all of logic. This is deduction specifically. That is the end result of using logic. It sure is. It sure is, Edgy. So, how do you use it? Oh no! Oh no! Gumshoe! Why are they using characters that has been through multiple murder investigations? Yeah. Oh, Gumshoe's never used logic in his life. Holy shit. First, I recall the information we've gathered with the left bumper, and then I connect them together with the Y button. Now, to use the left bumper and recall the facts. Crime scene, my office. The office key? Connect. Oh, he has a life bar for his logic, too. Doing things my way for successfully making a connection. I wish I got achievements like that in real life. Do you know how high my gamer score would be? For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Well, yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Why did this happen in my room? I'm gonna stop reading the descriptions there because that's literally just repeating what's written below. I feel like in a rational justice system, you'd recuse yourself from investigating a murder that happened in your own office while you were out. You would think so? But there's no such thing as a rational justice system in real life or this video game. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. Begin investigation. High Prosecutor's Offices, Room 1202. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. Oh my god. You know what the characters remind me of here? This style of art they've used. They remind me of Kingdom Hearts Cross. The mobile games, Kingdom Hearts Key. Holy shit. Why does Miles have his spare suit framed? To cover his vault, obviously. Oh my god, brain blast. I have never watched an episode of Jimmy Neutron in my life, but I believe it. The fact that I knew that was Jimmy Neutron is kind of strange to me. Thank you, Willow. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply use the A button when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use Y, okay? I'll give you great precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. I don't know why I said it like that. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. It's because Manfred taught him to frame everything. Wow. Oh, God, that's terrible. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here, by which I mean he dropped it as he ran. I think I've seen one of these before. Yeah. Wait, that was what was the voice there? Who said that? Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model, I think. Wait. The police in this universe use these single action army revolvers? Edgeworth is very Dorito here, yes. Ugh, detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergency, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. That's wild. I'm touching you, officer. I'm going to touch your shoulder. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Shouldn't he have just told us? And I bet that Maya gave Edgeworth the Steel Samurai figure. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. Gumshoe is an artificially posed chimichanga. Yeah, I can see it. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine the area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Hey, you got something on your groin there. Let's see here. Huh. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Are you gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. All right, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press the right bumper to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. What do we have here? Open my organizer. Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey. I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinky dink. Let's take a look inside. Detective Buddy Faith. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. Huh. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. I mean, the gun... and the badge seem pretty connected, huh? Man, the prosecutor's badge is pretty. I'm not your buddy, Faith. Very dramatic. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Hey, thanks for the 5 bits, Willow. Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir, this guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, oh right, this game is actually made specifically for the DS, right? So we get the touchscreen minigames. As I always say, you gotta look real carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the right stick to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the left and right bumpers to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty. Yep. It looks like only 1 round was fired from this. Oh, so the killer killed the Vic with just 1 shot after wrestling the gun away from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. Okay, I don't get to look at anything else on the gun. I had some things I was interested in. Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Alright, so we have signs of a struggle. And I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. Yeah, if anyone who was around back when I streamed the first one, y'all know I actually really loved the, what's it called? The examination stuff in the first game, in, Case 5. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place till it sparkled. Does he have a life? I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Jim! The fuck is Jim? Damn it, Jim, I'm a prosecutor. Oh, hey, we just met this guy. Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? You know, you're right, Mox. That had slipped my mind. Are you all right? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body! The body! Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a blood... Dyslexic. Sure, just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Hey, it's the investigation music from the original trilogy. But more. Are you saying that Jim was a descendant of Elizabeth Bathory? Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Edgeworth is passive-aggressive? I never would have guessed. Yeah. Yes, that is correct. I am passive-aggressive. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping at conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his, or her, or their own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth's been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you, then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal. You got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun, and it's too early to be drawing conclusions. Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tried to get a little too hot-headed, or I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I hate this man. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Mox. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there. Sir. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Where is he getting Jim? I should probably give them some space. Mr. Portsman, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see. It'll be for the both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? No, that's all right. I feel like I'm interrupting their conversation. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa. That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well, and there's still only one round missing. If the masked guy dropped the gun, then it was only fired into the jacket. Yep. Please don't tell me gumshoes not allowed on the furniture. Oh no. They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in. What if they shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it, the bullet hole where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press the Y button with conviction. And when I've found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Oh wait, is that not how I do this? Oh, present with the Y button, right. Okay. Eureka! Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different weapon. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Oh, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that! Oh, talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in? I noticed that around the keypad, it's not dusty. It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence in a trial session. When a trial is in session. That's it? Yeah, talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. He has precious pictures of his friends and family inside. Aww. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Huh. Now this is odd. You found something, sure? This keypad, don't you find it a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Yep. The biggest one is of Larry. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, no. How could you? As I thought, it appears that that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Well then. Let's see what we've got here. Wiped fingerprints. Why did this happen in my office? I guess let's see. He was just photobomb. Oh no. That makes more sense. Well, it's a good thing my steel samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. It's this universe's My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Spin-offs like Pink Princess Warrior of Little Old Tokyo and The Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show, gives it presence. You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that conversation lasted longer than I expected. Let's return to the investigation. Oh, it's your trophy, the knight of prosecutors, right? King of prosecutors, and it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that's something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sure. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometimes. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. The killer is going to pay. This tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. It cost more than your whole month's paycheck. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. This picture is too important to mess up. So why does he call him Jim? I guess there's one more, right? It's the victim's gun. Yeah, and I guess there's one more, right? We certainly can't discount the possibility. However, we must then ask ourselves, why would the killer leave evidence behind? It's not exactly something you'd put down and forget about. Not unless we're talking about you, Detective. There's something unusual about the killer's actions, and none of it is adding up. What does it all mean? What do we do here? Why did it... Why is it... Okay, now it's working properly. That was odd. Alright, well, I guess it's time for our first break before I can put this together. Alright. I want you to remember that there is a civil rights movement happening around the country and the wider world. Black Americans, people of color, are fighting for things that should never have to be fought for, like equal rights, equal treatment under the law, and not be attacked, terrorized, and even murdered by the police. So we have listed here a few ways that you can help. They include the Bail Fund Network to help keep protesters out of jail, the Okra Project and the Black Trans Travel Fund to help Black trans and non-binary people with food, supplies, and travel out of dangerous situations, and the Black Hills Legal Fund, the Lakota People's Fund to take back their land, the Six Grandfathers, which was stolen by white people, arbitrarily renamed in Mount Rushmore, and then had some white slave owners' faces carved into the side of it. Black Lives Matter, lives of people of color matter, Indigenous lives and lands matter, Asian and Pacific Islander lives matter. These are things we gotta keep saying and pushing and fighting for until the people all the way to the top not only understand and acknowledge them, but work to make them real protected truths. Alright, gonna go to the break, gonna run some ads. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes. All right, we're back. So I think what it wants from us here. The killer's goal, wiped fingerprints, right? I think. Excellent. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after. What is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. There we go. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you ain't never seen before, even at a library. Where they shelve a lot of files there at the library. And right in front of you where you see it. I presume we don't think that one bullet went through the victim into the suit frame because there's no blood on the suit. That would change a lot of things, especially since we saw the man fire at the frame and it fell to the ground. That would mean we know that shot was fired. Okay. I'm trying to wrap my brain around how that would even work. Sure, let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what are we supposed to do? We go about finding the truth. First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, the book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. Oh, those are handprints. I thought they were blood splatter. Those are backwards handprints. What? How would that even happen? That looks like someone is reaching in from behind the bookshelf. Is this a haunting? Is this game already going supernatural? The Phoenix Wright trilogy at least waited. No, this is about right for that too, actually. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. Oh, I see. I see. Good call, Bad Road. I see how that would work. I still like my idea that it was a ghost, though. And then the guy fell into the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. You know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain that... Why are you in homicide? I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot. There are prints on the floor, too. Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. Interesting. Why is the bullet hole here? Was the detective the one rifling through the files when he got shot? Oh, you're right. They are both they are both left handprints. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. And yet... And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. That doesn't make sense, though. And down here, this one's a right hand print. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. That would be the logical conclusion. The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm so weirded out by where the bullet hit. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? There is clearly a contradiction here with the bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? Oh, you don't see. Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. Well, what if the guy was shot while he was sitting there lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. And that means, wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The faulty assumption, I mean, it's one of those. It's got to be the order of the files, right? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, naturally, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they're organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption that you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. You think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished the processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. Shouldn't rigor mortis have set in now, so it would be effectively impossible? If you please, Detective Gumshoe. Weekend at Buddy's. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Fate. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? This is like really interesting procedural shit. Oh, his head is bent forward. That's the top of his hat. It took me a sec to figure that out. Now, the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. Indeed, there's many things the killer did that don't make sense. Also, it says Gumshoe there on the right. Are we doing the upside down text again? But to figure out the whys, we need more information. This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? Well, what about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? He wasn't after the OG file. He was after the OH file. It looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. Edgeworth is officially a better judge than the judge. Why do they always write upside down on the... Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me, but they keep acting like it's a normal thing. They keep acting like this somehow makes sense, and it doesn't to me. I don't get it. Excuse me, my nose is a bit stuffed up, too. Alright, since we have the control panel right here, I don't have to snort directly into the microphone anymore. You got it! By the way, I am intentionally leading into Portman's emotional shifts. I am intentionally making them more unsettling than they even were on their own. I'm gonna keep doing that. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me? Sure, for the audience, you know, I already know, but you know, for the stream chat, maybe you could explain how it works. You know, for them, so that they can understand the procedure. All right. First, I listened to the witness's testimony. Excellent. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with the right bumper and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use the Y button, but that's old news. It's not like there's gonna be a flaw in the testimony every time, right? Correct, and at those times, I need to press the witness with the left bumper. Sometimes, by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, though. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you'd committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Huh, but thanks to you, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it'll be by his final words that you'll be brought to justice. Miles' exposition. I like that. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. So one problem that this is like clearly lampshading. Media has totally ruined people's view of psychology, especially criminal psychology, because of shit like this. Oh yeah, the victim wrote their killer's name in blood. That's not a thing that has ever happened. And they are actually lampshading at this time, which I'm very thankful for. Huh. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I'll find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Incredible credible evidence. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Hold it! You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. Huh? What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim's the perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? I hate this man so much. There was a CSI episode where the victim tried to text the killer's name while she was dying, but the text app wasn't open, so she was just pressing numbers. Oof. Yeah, but Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jock and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. Oh my god, I hate this man so much. Huh. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you'd committed theft instead. Hold Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? Like, for real, I could just ask him. He'd let me borrow. Like, I know we argue a bit, but we are actually pretty close. Yeah, it's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life's getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but... poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. That's true, they are square. Hold it! And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Hold it! Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? Well, the body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it, except there's a file missing. So that makes no sense. But, judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? It's too, Mr. Edgeworth. Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective is the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it. With evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game-finishing spike. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. Hold it! If this is the quality of the prosecutors, no wonder they have fabricate evidence. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, God. I'd say I miss Edgeworth, but we're playing as Edgeworth. Are you saying those letters were intended for you? Yep. Jim was an outstanding detective. I'd expect no less from my former partner. It looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound? Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. It's a file that's a wide gap that is covering that. You get it. It's a pretty good joke. What you doing, Gaston? Why you scratching? Why you scratching and staring at me? You want to come up and play the game with me? You can. No, he's gonna go see his daddy. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by pressing him with some evidence. Alright. So yeah, that's literally impossible. Godot did it. He didn't see the bloody... Oh my god. You're right. We will literally just present him with the evidence he's referencing. Objection! Objection for successfully presenting the correct evidence during a rebuttal. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Hey, bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. Oh shit, it's the Edgeworth theme. This is good shit. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. If you have time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? I don't know why I said it like that either. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? So his forehead is sweating, but it looks like he has bugs crawling under his skin, and I hate it. Thanks. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone, and it's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he would overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Oh, Gumshoe's face. He's a mummy, like from The Mummy, 1999. That's the Brendan Fraser one, right? Okay, that's a pretty good... He looks like he's just been slapped and kneed in the groin at the same time. I approve. The wobbly, pencil-like lines for the art style for the HD stuff, I'm also really appreciating. Like, the background looks like vector art, like the sprites, but specifically the conversation sprites, they look like they're drawn, and that's really cool. I like it a lot. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. Oh, that's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! No, I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. I'm gonna put him in handcuffs and then tell him not to do that again, and we'll put him in holding and give him a fair trial. You just watch. Well, Mr. Portsman. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. You suck. Bam, bam. You suck. Bam, bam. Speaking of The Mummy 1999, has anyone seen the preview for Pressure 2026? I have not. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some, you lose some. That's how life goes. I'm glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. What, like the movie Dead Alive? I don't remember the year. I'd put it there as a continuation of the bit. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. So I don't know if it was the same everywhere, but The Mummy in 1999 came to our theater in Vernon on Mother's Day. We actually, it was one of our mom's more lucid days, going towards would have been in Cranbrook. Doesn't make sense. Was that in Cranbrook or was that in Vernon? Anyway, wherever we were, we went to it on the day of release. Man, memories are weird. Yeah, took Bio Mom to see it on Mother's Day. It was very funny. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Yeah, it would have been Cranbrook. Okay. I'm trying to... Yeah. It was the matinee that day. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Humor me. Who has the key to this office? That'd be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. What are you doing? That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Oh my god, he's doing the fucking Kurt Angle pose. He really is. Brendan Fraser returns to the screen in a starring role as Dwight Eisen. Oh, that's wild. May 7th, a Friday. Mother's Day was the following Sunday. Okay, well, it released at our theater the following Sunday. I remember because there was a big hullabaloo about it. Cranbrook is a tiny ass little town, so we didn't get everything on time. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense you still have something to say? I hate him so much. Well, I was thinking, did you know there's one other person with a key to this office? One other person? Is it the judge? Are they going to accuse the judge? Hey, you there! Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young... Oh no, it's Maggie, isn't it? It's... Why does everyone try to arrest Maggie? Why does this keep happening? A lady. The girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Okay, maybe it's not Maggie. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. She's security. Oh, yep, it is. Okay, Gumshoe got there. Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Duh. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Ms. Maggie Bird, a member of security. Look, I know I kind of jumped to a conclusion there, but I was right, wasn't I? Oh! She's got feathers pinned to her coat. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie. Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. Yep, Blue Badger shirt. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in the building. What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So, yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, detective. He understands what I'm saying here. I hate the sound his jacket makes, too. Oh my god. They have actually made someone more unlikable than Godot. Godot is charmingly unlikable. This man I would kill if I could. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Ms. Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Ms. Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. Except that she wouldn't. So you're saying she used the master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. Well, that was then. This is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. Okay, so we've determined that he's a tennis player. Or a badminton player, maybe? It's all about your reflexes and reaction time. Especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone other than Ms. Bird who could have used the master key. It seems the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Volleyball puns? Oh. Shit. So he's generic sports guy. It's pretty obvious that Ms. Bird snuck into your room using the master key.
Hold it!
Are you sure Ms. Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she is it. Isn't that right, Ms. Bird? That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies, plus I hate wasting time. Huh. Should I hear Ms. Bird out? I mean, obviously. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Ms. Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Ms. Bird, if you please, tell us your lies. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? Ugh, I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story.
And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Believe me, it happens a lot. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. It's true, she never loses things, only jobs. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Her intent? From the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say a thievery. Hold it! I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However, glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe, hey, good thinking asking for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door. I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. That was just a theory. One hypothesis among the many possibilities. This guy reminds me of actual prosecutors I've had the displeasure of talking to. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. See, there goes the truth. Running the other way. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. Oh, but we're in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? And so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she's the only one who could have opened your office door, then that leaves only Ms. Bird as our prime suspect. Hold it! Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? A bit early to be assigning roles to it, don't you think? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Oh, nothing. I guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so bad, you're literally chased off the force. Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Oh, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Poor Gumshoe. Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. Hold it. By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence. I'd love to, but first we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying. And press him for more information. We've already pressed on everything. She doesn't know that the safe exists. Right? That was said. Am I remembering that right? Only the prosecutors know about the safes. This is not public information. Yep. It actually says it right there.
Objection!
Yes, the finger waggle. I'm just realizing that Edgeworth does not have the wobbly lines. He's drawn with perfectly straight lines. I think it's because they took the sprites directly from the Ace Attorney trilogy. Do you wish to continue insisting that Ms. Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Blech! I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Ugh. Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. That are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! Why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? That's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. Filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means, yeah, I know. I'd only just told him, too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Ms. Maggie Bird? Excuse me. I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? Are you still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that, not even as a security guard, sir. Yeah, plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to the office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key.
Ah! Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless... Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him.
Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief?
Nah, I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense.
Has he no honor?
Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to the case.
When did that happen?
You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show.
Listen, pal, how many times do I gotta say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
But sir...
We have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands.
Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again.
If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear?
Da 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 da.
Ah, different.
March 14, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway.
What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable.
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir.
True. So then what now?
It looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch.
Do not despair, Ms. Bird. We can overcome this as well.
We've never met a rude prosecutor before.
There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway.
Really, sir?
For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information. Why is there a basketball over there? Regarding the mystery surrounding my door.
Begin investigation.
Incredible. Why is there a basketball hoop there? I'm getting confused. What is a basketball doing here?
That's Mr. Portsman's prized possessions. Oh, so he's a basketball player now. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis.
And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway.
Hey, look who it is. It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly post-haste.
Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open.
How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. They're not even giving his name. Who is this guy? Good. Who is this guy again? They're not even using his name. And I can't even remember his name either. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be outside next to the building like a long time ago?
So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? Yeah, I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor. Is everything all right? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about the hallway and the room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. Okay. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Hey, there's the file. But before we get to the file, let's go to our second ad break. If you want to support us, you can, of course, subscribe here on Twitch, or you can head over to patreon.com/ifwhen, where you get art and music and shout-outs at the end of the streams. All right. We're going to go to the break, and I'm going to run some ads, and I will see you back here in just a few minutes.
return. Hope everyone's holding up okay. As I said before we went to the break, there's the file, so let's check it out. It's... isn't this the Mission O series file, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. Pain, thank you. So what are those zero files about, sir? I guess they got something to do worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly, it's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. That means the thief must also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care so much about an old case. A well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know. You would sleep even out here, Detective, in a hallway. Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. Always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime. To envision myself winning, naturally. Right, that seems to be... No? I bet the thief's not under here. I guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. I mean, if someone could contort themselves to fit, I'd be really impressed. Sounds like somebody's already tried at least once before. Gumshoe's like a giant brick of man, though. I was wondering if I might speak with you for a bit concerning this case.
I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth.
I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with why. Each prosecutor's badge is engraved with the number of its owner on the back. Numbers. As if we're not human on the inside like everyone else. Well, let me present... Oh, wait, never mind. There it is.
That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? It proves that you're really a prosecutor.
Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe.
With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on? Just for a little bit?
I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you?
I guess not.
On second thought, they're actually on about the same level.
I'm just a lowly security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it.
It's like talking to another Gumshoe. She has like... Well, let's ask her about the key. She might actually know about that. So when did you discover that the master key was missing?
By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times it was not just gone, but stolen, sir.
Why is it such an important key stored in such an insecure place?
Oh, it's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window.
Always, you say, except this time, correct?
Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sorta using it at the time. It was after I'd used it that I left it sitting on the ledge.
She used the master key. Ah. What did you mean by you used the master key?
Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who'd forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right?
What is it?
That's right. I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key was Mr. Portsman, sir.
What? Please, tell me more, Ms. Bird, quickly.
It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loaned the master key to him.
No way. It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir.
I see. And then? What happened after that?
Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
Hey, that sounds like fun. Just once. I'd have loved to play with him.
That sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir.
And second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in all that well with him. Yeah, the key was gone at 1:30. It gives Portsman a opportunity. We just got to establish motive at this point. Ms. Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you're an acquaintance of the detective. She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit.
But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night.
You got caught up in the whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of food, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. And now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard.
That is a lot to go through in one lifetime. I relate to Maggie Bird.
I know, and just when I thought I'd finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. How could she lock his door? The key was gone at 1:30. That's a good question. What's the matter, Gaston? You need me to move some stuff for you? Oh, there you go. Alright. Alright. Hi. He just shoved his face under my arm. He's just looking up at me. Oh, he's such a cutie. He's such a cutie. Seems like his hips are hurting less today than they were yesterday. That is a hell of an expression they've given her there. She kind of looks like she's from Kirby's Dream Land 3. All the new characters do. So that means we gotta use our Luigi logic. Oh yeah. Wahaha! Ms. Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow! Nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I had totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right. It was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Well, let's check out his door, right? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe they put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office. But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here. How long have I had the same office and you still managed to get lost? Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. Interesting. Interesting. Starting to get some motive. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because something like his birthday is December 2nd? Yeah, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Ugh. I'm even wasting time thinking about this. The door is locked tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of a high prosecutor detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. Aha, so I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from?
So how did it get relocked?
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? There's a contradiction here between reality and evidence. If what Ms. Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Ah, you know, you're right. Ms. Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door?
I am certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't.
Which means, what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Ms. Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door, but how can you prove that?
Oh, I bet they switched. I bet Portsman switched the numbers, right? Or moved the basketball hoop would have given that. Yeah, it would have had to be both.
She opened a different door, but how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is examine these.
The prints on the door, right? On the doorknob.
The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you! Yeah, you, pal! Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what'd you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective. Sir, I have found only Mr. Portsman and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. Ah, I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints would be on this doorknob as well. Now then, whose prints should also be on this doorknob?
Take that!
Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked the door are absent? You mean... Yes, the door that Ms. Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Huh, what have we here? The basketball, obviously. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman?
Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match.
Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis, it doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean up his toys after he's done playing. I think we've reached the end of this conversation.
Gumshoes, of course. I almost did. I almost decided to see what would happen.
What is this?
Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Ah, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later, buddy.
Huh. It looks like a note from the victim.
Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman. I'm starting to figure out where this is going. This is fucking Machiavellian.
Alright. A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. Yeah, it's kind of majestic, though. Fits in real well with the ambiance of the prosecutor's office. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these. Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works. Well, he seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. Okay. "1202. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office." Whoops, hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... odd, right? I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked. And according to the guards, no sign that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle, wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Did they, though? Is there a way I can ask about the basketball hoop? Just the same dialogue. So when and why was it moved indoors? Dragged it up 12 flights of stairs. 11 flights of stairs? Why would the room numbers need to be removable? I was wondering that too. Was it in the scene? Oh, was it in the scene with the paper? Oh shit, you're right. Not only that, but... Good eye, Willow. Huh. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I'd better take note of this. Oh shit, I guess we got everything. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman.
What? Mr. Portsman?
I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses was telling me, too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentleman, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. March 14, 5:12 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I've finished processing the bloody letters, sir. All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Woo! Okay, looking good. You there, take care of this. Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. Huh. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. There was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Mr. Portsman's rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we're not finished yet. Boy, you are stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusation on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on. With evidence. Incessant chatter for 40 years and nobody did anything until Phoenix. Yep. It's pretty fucked up, right? I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but... Hold it! My accusation is a harebrained idea, is it? You tell me. I'd say it is, after all. There's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Hold it! Oh, and what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about? Jim was my partner. You can't say I had a motive for killing him. And? That's it? That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain. But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree? Might I recommend you review what the word evidence means? It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Hold it! Unfortunately, I believe I've already shown how earlier. Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Not just yet. Let's see what the rest of the dialogue does. I need to gather a bit more information. What's wrong? Don't tell me all you wanted to do was find fault with my flawless logic. Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here.
Hold it!
Ha, I don't think so. Oh, and why is that? Because there's a flaw in your reasoning. Are you calling me a liar? So where's your proof? The saying evidence is everything isn't limited to just the courtroom, you know. You need not remind me. I'll show you all the evidence you want in time. I have no idea. Okay, so obviously we present the key, right? I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less. Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. A single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right, you used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key.
Take that!
You'd asked Ms. Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Ms. Bird open at that time was not your own, was it?
What?
You have quite the imagination.
But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir.
See, Ms. Bird backs up my story. Yeah, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? Ha! And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example.
That's right, they do slide out pretty easily.
Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression that the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Ms. Bird think that it was his room?
Take that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir?
It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor.
Ah! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's.
There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure.
I see.
So that's how you throw suspicion on people.
Thanks for the tip, but I think your conjecture is a little off track.
Conjecture's rebuttal. Now you're just spouting nonsense.
I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
So he intends to claim his innocent to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. He's as pure and innocent. What? What? And Ms. Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears.
My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday.
Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Now you're just spouting nonsense.
Hold it!
Nonsense, you say?
Yes, because I'm telling the truth. I had the girl open my office door.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course.
Sure. You have a problem with that? That is what the master key's for, right?
Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you.
After that, I was in my room the entire time. No, you fucking weren't, you fucking liar.
Objection!
That was a lie.
What are you talking about? How is that a lie?
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman.
A note?
It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, "But you're out." You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you, and what were you doing? Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you.
That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me.
Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence.
No way!
This is proof positive that you had Ms. Bird open the door for you.
Take that!
I had your door dusted for prints.
My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time.
You're right, I didn't find anything, and definitely not Ms. Bird's fingerprints.
Her prints, what do they have to do with anything?
Let's put it this way, if she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched.
Ugh!
Further, all of the prints on my office door's knobs have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Ms. Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard some sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office.
And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutors, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What?
Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all and even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints. Well, I can readily confess that I'd wiped that knob down as well. Huh? I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you'd touched. which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. Except that both of the other two's prints were on it. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there.
You made that up just now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like, early evening, for example.
Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Oh, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir.
Horseman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it.
Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I'd told you sooner. If memory serves, you came back to the office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m. You see?
All the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere.
If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct?
Hold it!
You are correct. It was around 2 a.m.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2.
Oh, given testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however.
Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh, well, doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs.
Hold it!
So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit?
Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Who took the key for an hour and a half? Yeah, it's weird, right? How many people have tried to get away with murder in Edgeworth's office? Several at least. I think we know of at least 2 others. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you at around that time.
See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
He did say he was in his office the whole time, though. Like, he's contradicting himself. Possible. He actually does have the perfect alibi.
What's wrong? Why the sudden look on your face?
Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train.
You there, sir.
Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle.
Maggie.
Detective Gumshoe.
He asked to have his office locked at 1:30, so that's when he... Oh, I see. Okay, you're right. Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If I only had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time and with logic. Why were the files fucked up twice? Right? That definitely makes it seem like it's a second person. The other gun. I'm gonna try it this way. Boom! Evidence points to the shelves being disturbed once before and once after the murder. But who's to say that the person who did it the second time is the same as the first? Which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. If indeed there were two culprits, then that resolves the contradiction behind our murder weapon. Despite the fact that there are 2 bullets here in this room, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, leaving the possibility that the other bullet was fired from the other visitor's gun. Furthermore, if we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back...
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great, so you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth?
Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the very start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Ms. Bird and gained entry into my office. Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Ugh. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me. which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? Why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right?
And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into the office to check it out. Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he'd also left the fake dying message behind. You are such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor? Sure. Yes, and this other person's objective was to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, the new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. A stolen O file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shells getting messed up twice in 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there's still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point.
Don't say that, sir.
I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I gotta. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief,
Then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Horseman's Alibi, Part 2. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? Okay, we're actually at a time when I should run the next ad break. I thought we were about to be done, but we got a little bit more to go, looks like. Hopefully this doesn't go on for like an hour and a half like last time. All right, I'm gonna go to the break. I'll run some ads and I'll see you back here in a couple minutes.
There we go. Music reminds me of Vampire Survivors. All right, here we go. This is our boss music, I guess. That thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating.
Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say?
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't. As a matter of fact, it isn't. Well, why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Fate's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them. You mean the O files, right? And that's how we know the letters themselves were a setup and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Ugh! Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yeah, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, we should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all. I hate to repeat myself, but I've already said I was training in my room.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's note... Hold on, I thought we were already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered... I don't have any, no. See, so I insist again that I was in my office the entire time. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? That's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. He brought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant, that are related to yesterday's case. But I brought 3 pieces of evidence by.
Objection!
Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully.
It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces.
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe, you don't gotta say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Don't come any closer, I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal, so don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? Yeah, this on him, sir. A VHS tape. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. Why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber, because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine the videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. Wait, don't we need to, like, put this in a player or something? KG8 incident. The KG8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this tape isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over. Ah. Bum, 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 bum. Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. Ugh. You told us that you'd received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video.
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine the tape for fingerprints? Ugh. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No! Impossible! He just ate his medal. And choked to death. March 14, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman's been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies.
Oh, it was nothing really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. Hey, you know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons.
Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, that doesn't explain several things, actually.
Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a reason that some sort of a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh? Well, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence. Which one? It's definitely the basketball hoop. The file, we don't have which files were stolen or why.
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? It was Phoenix Wright! Mr. Edgeworth, sir? Yes? I came across this while processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It's the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it's the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end. A modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of the corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence, and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is set forth. Mercurial news. Excellent. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it's been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming. It's great to be back on Phoenix Wright. This guy gets in the office, moves the body to get the files, scatters them, and then takes the one behind the body. Yeah, like... This is gonna get interesting.
All right. So, like I said, if you want to support us, there's a couple ways to do that. You can subscribe here on Twitch, or you can head on over to patreon.com/ifwhen, get access to art, music, shout outs at the end of the streams. Thank you to our patrons, Sky, Andymonium, Melly Basket, Kai, Nachum Wingrove, Angelic, and Willow Mist. Thank you. And if you don't got money, you know, that's okay. Just follow us here on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, you know, that shit's free. Here's our schedule over at community.neocities.org. The next scheduled stream is going to be Bad Road on his channel of the same name. The titular Bad Road, playing Dust and Elysium Tale. And then it's going to be back here with Sue for Shin Megami Tensei 5. And speaking of YouTube, our channel for the VODs is over at youtube.com/@ifwhenvod. If you want to watch something, that's a place to watch something. Gonna make up for last night and do some more Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. All right, I will send a raid your way, Willow. So this is an unscheduled stream. So what I said is still technically correct. All right. And that's it for right now. And I'm trying out a sign off like Sue's got. Be caring, but be careful. And we'll see you some other time. Now I gotta type the raid thing. So, you know, I've mistimed this. I flubbed this entirely.